Hi, good morning. You're watching The Good News with AFG Living. I'm your host, Gisela Sanchez, and today we have good news for you guys. We have special guest Brock Vanderburg.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Well, Brock, I know you have some amazing news for people, and you're giving hope for people who actually want to have an American dream.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, you're in the financial business, and you help investors, make money.
Yeah, we specialize in working with real estate investors and providing them the financing they need to either purchase property, refinance their existing loans, just really get involved in real estate finance.
Okay. Now, your typical client, would that be, let's say, a first-time home buyer, or you're just strictly working with business people?
Yeah, we're strictly working with real estate investors. So the loans that we're funding are going to be what we call business purpose loans. So the purpose of that loan has to be for investment purposes.
I see. Well, I know earlier today we spoke, and you were sharing with me a story about an investor. Pretty much he didn't have much to start. Share that story with everybody.
So we've been funding hard money loans for the last 10 years, and we really specialize in working with investors who might be purchasing their first investment property, maybe a fix and flip.
Okay.
And just last week, we funded a project for an investor who had been looking for projects here in San Diego for over a year. He identified a property. We assisted him with what we call a proof of funds letter that allowed him to submit an offer showing that he was pre-approved with our company. That offer was accepted. He was excited. We structured a loan that allowed him to purchase the property, also provided him funds to actually renovate the property as well.
Wow.
So we closed that in less than 5 days, and now he's in the process of renovating that property. Once he's done, he'll list it on the market and make a tidy little profit.
Oh, that's good news.
Oh, it's awesome news.
Because so many people, we're living in a time where it's not easy out there for anybody, right? And you're allowing financing for people that might not have the best credit, and they're able to go in, purchase a property, and be creative.
So, one of the biggest hurdles, obviously, to getting into real estate, especially real estate investment, is just getting the first project done. And we really work with first-time investors to walk them through the process, starting from step one. How do I get financing? How do I locate a property? Who should I be networked with? What groups should I be a part of? We enjoy doing that with the investor. And then working with them to identify and purchase their first investment property. But we also work with a lot of investors who've been doing it for years and years and offering them financing that they did not know that they could have.
Now, let's say a person doesn't want to purchase and become an investor, but they have their own home that they've been living in for 20 years. They don't want to move out, but they need some renovation in that property. Do you help with that as well?
So what we do is, again, business purpose loans. So if there's a consumer purpose to it, so if they're going to borrow from their own property, probably not going to be the best fit for us. But take, for example, let's say a 1031 exchange.
Okay.
We had a real estate, just recently funded a loan where a gentleman sold an investment property his family had owned for years and years. And he needed to take those proceeds and put them in a new property so that they would not be taxed. He had identified the property. He had needed to close in about 2 weeks, but the bank he was working with couldn't close quick enough. So they came to us and we funded what's called a bridge loan.
Okay.
That bridge loan just gives him financing for a year, 2 years, or 3 years so that he can season the property, show that there's income coming in. Maybe he fixed his credit so that he can go out and get conventional bank financing. Okay. So they just need a loan for a short period of time.
And my mind's always being very creative with everything.
Absolutely.
So in regards to business loans, what type of loan, describe to us a client who wanted to do your type of financing and maybe start a business or do a business, or what would that look like?
So we actually, here's another great example, and this was actually an owner-occ loan. Borrower owned the property, but he was pulling cash out to purchase a business. In this case, he was purchasing a CPA business, accounting business.
Okay.
And so he pulled a small second out on the property that we were able to fund, and he purchased that business with our loan. And so that's a great way of someone can unlock the equity in their property to go out and purchase something of a business nature.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, it was super exciting for him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're providing hope, and you're allowing people to grow, you know, and that's what it's all about, you know, and this is what the good news is all about, you know. We want people to actually have the ability to tap into other resources and know that there is hope, that they could actually grow and become successful, you know. I mean, after all, it's, you know, the American dream it's going to look different to everybody, of course, but that's their dream. And maybe their dream is to become an investor and to flip properties, and you're allowing this outlet. Now, in regards to funding, how much do they need to put down in their own pockets?
Okay. So yeah, we have a number of programs. So if we were talking about a fix and flip program where you're adding value to the property, we'll lend between 65 to 70% of what we call the completion value.
Okay.
So the property, once it's done, that will be the loan amount. And those funds will go towards the purchase of the property and towards the renovation of the property. In many cases, what we call an interest reserve. So that borrower may not have to make any interest payments for a set period of time while they're renovating that property.
I see.
Now, if we're talking what we call a bridge loan, so a loan for a 1 to 3 year period, that again, they need to fix their credit, maybe they have to show there's income coming in on the property, we'll lend between 65 to 70% of that value, so of the current market value of that property.
And how long is that usually for? How long do they have to pay you back?
So it's great news, and thank you for offering because or asking, because we'll fund up to 5 years on that program. On that program.
Okay.
So that should give them enough time to do whatever they need to get conventional bank financing, longer term financing.
I see. And so you do the commercial, you do investing. Anything else that I might miss that?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Not only do we do residential, so we do fund a lot of single family houses, a lot of multifamily property, but we also do commercial. Owner-operator businesses that want to buy their building, we'll provide financing for those owner-operators.
That's a good one.
We funded a restaurant, the purchase of a restaurant, small commercial buildings and small retail buildings as well. The loan programs that we have can be extremely flexible. We can kind of build them around what the borrower needs.
Okay. And this is all financing through your company?
Through my company. So, and that's another good point, is that when you contact Talimar Financial, you're talking to me.
Okay.
And we're what we call a direct lender. So I'm funding loans with my capital. So I can quickly assess, is this loan, number one, going to be a good fit for us? Number two, if it is, how can I structure the loan that offers the best rates, best terms, and meets kind of that borrower's needs? And then number three, fund quickly. So most of the loans we fund are within 5 to 7 business days. I get a lot of calls from realtors or mortgage brokers, kind of in a panic that, hey, we got to close on this property. We don't have any more time.
Right.
What can you do to help us? Well, we can definitely help that borrower. We can close in 5 to 7 business days. And we don't necessarily need an appraisal to close on that transaction.
Oh, that's good. I bet you get a lot of those last-minute phone calls from those investors, huh?
That's probably the number one call that we get, is that they have to close quickly, and we meet that need.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us? Anything that we could go ahead and share about your company?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing that we focus on, obviously we can talk about pricing, loan to value ratios and whatnot, but I think the value add that we offer as a company is that, number one, we're going to communicate with you. You call in to us, we're going to tell you over the phone kind of where the pricing is going to be, the loan structure. We're going to give you a pre-approval, typically within 24 hours. And then we're going to communicate with you through the whole underwriting and funding process. Make sure that you're comfortable with how that funding process goes. And then once we close, we remain as your point of contact. So if you've got any questions about your loan, you're going to give us a call, and we'll make sure we communicate everything that you need.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. And what's the best way that they could get a hold of you?
Best way is just give me a call directly. And my phone number is 858-613-0111. Obviously, you can always go to our website. That's talimarfinancial.com. One thing cool about the website that we offer is that you can go on and actually see the before and after photos of flips that we do.
I love that.
So when borrowers finish up their projects, we'll go ahead and post their project on our website, feature it, and the people can see that transformation of the project.
You get to celebrate with them.
Oh, it's wonderful. And and it changes neighborhoods. People go in and take this ugly duckling of a house, right? That people want to tear down and completely make it a new house. And it changes the neighborhood, drives up value, creates jobs. All around, it's a good business to be in.
Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad that we got to meet. And
well, I want to say thank you for having me on your show. It's a wonderful show.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we had a chance to meet and talk.
Yeah, I agree. And this is the good news. I'm Gisela Sanchez with AFG Living. For more content like this and more good news, stay tuned. God bless and take care.